Linh was born into a poor family in a rural village in central Vietnam. Her home was tucked away in a small alley where floodwaters would rise to knee level every rainy season. Her parents were farmers, working tirelessly in the fields year-round. Yet life remained a constant struggle. Her childhood was marked by days of hunger and hardship. From a young age, Linh understood that if she wanted to change her life, she had to excel in school and find a way out of the cycle of poverty. She was diligent, persistent, and always put in her best effort, studying under the dim glow of an oil lamp, helping her mother sell goods at the market to earn extra money. These experiences shaped her strong will. When she was accepted into university, Linh was overjoyed but also anxious because her family could not afford her education. Knowing she couldn't rely on her parents, she made up her mind to move to the city with only a small amount of money and an unshakable determination. This was the beginning of her arduous yet hopeful journey. Arriving in the city, Linh quickly realized what true independence meant. Rent, tuition, food, everything was a heavy burden on her shoulders. With the little money she had to be extremely frugal. Simple meals of plain rice with fish sauce, days surviving on instant noodles, these became a daily routine. Determined not to burden her family, Linh threw herself into finding work. She took on any job she could get, washing dishes, handing out flyers, cleaning houses. There were nights when she returned home exhausted, barely able to eat a packet of noodles before collapsing into bed. She lay awake many nights, worrying about the future, but never once did she think of giving up. During these tough times, Linh made an interesting discovery. Instant noodles weren't just a poor student's meal, they could be transformed into something much better. She started experimenting with different ways to prepare them, making her meals more enjoyable. It was during these difficult moments that a business idea began to take shape in her mind. One day, as she sat in her cramped dorm room eating noodles, Linh thought, why does instant noodles have to be just instant noodles? What if there was a healthier, tastier version? This idea kept her awake that night. Instant noodles had long been seen as a cheap, unhealthy meal. But what if there was a product that was both convenient and nutritious? Linh started researching different ingredients that could enhance the taste and health benefits of noodles. She observed that young people were becoming more conscious of what they ate. They were willing to spend more for quality food. If she could create a product that was both quick and healthy, could it become a trend? She had no capital, no experience, but one thing she did have was belief in her idea. She decided to experiment by creating her own noodle recipes and inviting friends to try them. Their positive feedback fueled her confidence. She started selling her homemade noodles right from her dormitory, where instant noodles were a staple for everyone. Selling homemade noodles in the dorm was not easy at first. Linh had no money to invest, so she could only buy ingredients in small amounts. She woke up early to prepare, personally cooking and packaging each serving before heading out to sell. She marketed her product through social media and direct sales in the dorm. She took attractive photos of her noodle dishes and posted them on Facebook and Zillow to attract customers. Word spread among her friends about her unique noodles, not just tastier than regular instant noodles but also more nutritious. Gradually, her customer base grew. At first, it was just students in her dormitory, but soon students from other schools started ordering. Some days, she sold hundreds of portions. The money she earned not only supported her living expenses but also encouraged her to think bigger. But this was just the beginning. Linh knew that if she wanted to turn this idea into a real business, she had to step beyond the dormitory and enter the wider market. After some time selling her homemade noodles in the dorm, Linh realized that she couldn't keep making them by hand forever. She needed a more professional production process. However, her first big challenge was capital. With little savings, Linh borrowed from friends and family, but the amount was far from enough. She turned to startup support programs and entered small business competitions to attract investors. However, many doubted her business model. There are already so many big instant noodle brands. Do you really think you can compete? They asked. Despite multiple rejections, Lin didn't give up. She kept refining her product, testing different recipes to create something truly unique. She didn't want to make just another instant noodle, she wanted to create a healthier, oil-free, preservative-free alternative. During the early days, Lin struggled to keep production running. Some nights, she slept only 3 to 4 hours, handling everything from cooking to packaging to delivery. It was exhausting and stressful, but she remained steadfast on her path. At her most difficult moment, Lin met an experienced mentor in the food industry. He had started his own business and understood her struggles. Seeing potential in her product, he decided to invest a small amount and guide her in running a food business. With this investment, Lin rented a small workshop and purchased basic machinery to produce noodles on a larger scale. She hired workers and began building her brand. She named her product Lin Noodles, a simple yet memorable name that reflected her journey. With her mentor's guidance, Lin also changed her marketing approach. She sought to place her product in small convenience stores, convincing shop owners to give her noodles a try. Gradually, Lin's noodles expanded beyond social media sales and started appearing on store shelves. She could feel the shift from a dormitory seller to a business owner with a real market presence. But the next challenge awaited her, competing with major brands. Entering the food market was one thing, but surviving and growing was another. Established instant noodle brands had dominated the market for decades with massive advertising budgets. Lin knew that if she didn't differentiate her product, she would be swallowed up. Instead of competing on price, she focused on quality. She highlighted what made Lin Noodles different: no fried oil, no preservatives, made with natural ingredients, and packed with unique flavors. She leveraged social media as her main weapon. She collaborated with food bloggers and created cooking videos demonstrating how to make delicious and healthy meals with Lin Noodles. Videos like Healthy Instant Noodles for Office Workers and How to Enjoy Noodles Without Gaining Weight quickly became trending topics on TikTok and Facebook. Soon, more people became curious about her healthy noodles. Larger stores started reaching out to stock her product. Though she wasn't competing directly with industry giants yet, Lin had carved out her own niche. Recognizing the power of marketing, Lin decided to scale up. She hired a professional team to refine her brand, invested in better packaging, built a website, and ran targeted ads. She launched a special campaign called Noodles for the Busy, aimed at young urban professionals, people who needed a quick meal but still cared about their health. This campaign not only increased brand recognition but also created a community of loyal customers. The turning point came when a famous influencer posted a review praising Lin Noodles. Overnight, orders skyrocketed. Her small factory worked at full capacity but still couldn't keep up with demand. Looking back, Lin realized how far she had come from struggling to afford meals to running a fast-growing food business. But she also knew this was just the beginning of an even greater journey. As sales skyrocketed, Lin felt she was at the peak of her success. But within just a few months, she realized that expanding too quickly could be a double-edged sword. Production struggled to keep up with demand, leading to a decline in product quality. Some customers complained that the noodles were no longer as delicious as before, some batches clumped together while others lost their signature flavor. Negative posts started appearing on social media, affecting the brand's reputation. Lin knew that if she didn't act fast, she could lose everything. She made the tough decision to halt new orders even though it meant losing a significant amount of revenue. She spent time reviewing the entire production process, working closely with her team to identify the root cause. It turned out that the rush to increase output had led to lapses in quality control. She immediately revamped the system, implementing stricter quality standards. She also took the initiative to apologize to customers and promise to improve. This genuine response helped her regain the trust of many. After the crisis, Lin learned a valuable lesson. Sustainable growth was far more important than rapid expansion. After stabilizing her business, Lin started thinking bigger. She didn't want Lin Noodles to be just a local brand, she wanted to take it international. She studied the food standards of demanding markets like Japan, South Korea, and Europe. To meet these strict requirements, she invested in advanced production technology, sourced premium quality ingredients, and worked with experts to optimize her products. She also redesigned the packaging to cater to global preferences and developed new flavors tailored to different regions. At a food exhibition in Singapore, Lin introduced her products to international buyers. To her surprise, many foreign distributors were highly interested in her concept of healthy instant noodles. After nearly a year of negotiations, Lin secured her first export contract to Japan, a significant milestone in her career. From a poor student selling homemade noodles in a dormitory, she had successfully brought her products to the world stage. As her business flourished, Lin realized she wanted to do more than just make a profit. She wanted to fulfill a mission. She saw that many people, especially the younger generation, lacked knowledge about healthy food. She established a foundation called Noodles for Health, dedicated to organizing nutrition education programs in schools and providing food aid to underprivileged children. She believed that if children learned to eat healthily from a young age, they would have a better future. Additionally, Lin promoted sustainable agriculture by partnering with local farms to source clean ingredients, creating jobs for rural communities. She gradually became a symbol not only in the food industry but also in responsible business practices. Lin Noodles was no longer just a noodle brand, it had become a movement. Despite her achievements, Lin always remembered her early days when she was just a young girl in a dormitory dreaming of a better future. Now, she owned a multi-million-dollar business with exports to multiple countries, but she knew her journey was far from over. She continued to research, innovate, and expand her market. Her goal was not just to make Lin Noodles a global brand, but to revolutionize the food industry where people could enjoy delicious meals without compromising their health. And so, from a simple bowl of noodles, Lin had written her own story, a story of perseverance, innovation, and passion. Wealth and success originate from within our minds. When we start with a belief inside our minds and nurture it every day, repeating positive thoughts daily, there comes a point when it becomes strong enough, and that is when everything begins to change from within you to the outside world. It all starts with belief and thoughts. They transform into actions, and we turn them into tangible results. They are real. Wishing you all success.